Hello everybody, welcome to Wednesday. It is Hump Day Wednesday, Q&A Wednesday for your viewing pleasure. Now I have decided my crown arrived. Finally, I've been hanging out for this crown to get here. Actually, I should have had it for when I did the Queen Code earlier on in the year, but I've decided that this is something, hey Joe, that everybody needs. We all need our very own crown. Hey Tamara. What's really funny, before I get into Q&A Wednesday for the coffee run, what I think is wildly hilarious is that my daughter who is in, or my second daughter who is in year 7 this year, she started a new school, so she's got new friends, and a lot of her friends are like, oh, what is it? You know, what do your parents do? What does your mum do? And my daughter says she is the queen of the internet. So I think that's really funny. That is my job title. For anybody who is not quite sure what it is that I do, it is the queen of the internet, and I have the crown to prove it, even after post-workout, even in post-workout attire. So it's really funny actually, because I've been sitting here since about 5 to 11, just going, okay, I've had the questions come through with what I'm going to answer. And it was just like, oh my gosh, we should just freaking start. Why am I waiting for the time to be dead on 11? Do queens have to wait for the starting clock to go? No. So we went live a little bit earlier today. So welcome, good morning. Hope you're all fantastic. If you're over in the States, happy Tuesday evening, Q&A Tuesday for you guys. Now, I just want to share this over to my page. So just give me 3 seconds. If you have any questions for me today, please type them in for me. I am going to be talking about anxiety today. It's something that I think a lot of us deal with, and I think it needs to be spoken about a lot more openly. There's a whole lot of BS and pretentiousness, maybe that's not the right word, that goes on in like the coaching industry, that goes on in the personal development industry, where people will often, make you think, I suppose, that everything, hey Carol, that everything is all fantastic and awesome and sunshine and lollipops and roses and whatever. And you know what? A lot of the time it really is. And sometimes it's just not. And it doesn't have to even be necessarily triggered by anything. It doesn't necessarily have to, sorry guys, just trying to get this shared across. Doesn't necessarily have to be because of something specifically or something that someone has said. It could just be because it was Tuesday. So anyway, I want to talk about that. I'm also going to be talking about, and how I deal with that. So, so we'll chat about that. And also the thing that I wanted to talk with you about was interestingly, something that was highlighted to me earlier this week, that someone found, I guess, like inspiring or interesting or whatever, and it was reflected back to me, and I thought it was really, really interesting. Some of these things that we just do innately or without thinking, and, positive things, without thinking, and about how that can actually inspire other people. So we'll be chatting about that today. Meanwhile, any other questions that you've got, please go ahead and type them in the comments. It can be about business, social media, marketing, anything that we talk about. It could be about anxiety, it could be about mental health. Not that I'm a mental health professional, just to be really clear. It could be about how I drink my coffee. Tamara, are you still drinking non-dairy coffee, bulletproof style coffee? I'd be really curious to hear about that. Okay, so let us crack into today. So the backstory is that yesterday I had a really awesome morning. I had a really excellent morning. I had a coaching session. I did the awesome show today. Yesterday, because you can't spell awesome without me, meaning you, every Tuesday. So that's a whole bunch of fun. And then what's been really interesting, I've been noticing, I need to move over here, don't I? Because then I'm not being glared out by the reflection of that sun. Oh, that's so much better. And look, you can kind of see my crown better. There we go. Although it's not kind of, there we go. I feel like that diamond right there is like right smack in my black roots that will be disappeared on Friday. Praise the Lord. But meanwhile, it makes that little diamond there stand out. So, you know, black roots for the win. Anyway, so I had a really great morning yesterday, and it's a bit of a pattern that I've been noticing where I'll have a really awesome delivery day, and it might be running a program. It could be like anything actually. So what I found is that once that delivery is done, once that high energy thing's done, about an hour later, I can be, this is not all the time and it's not every time, but it happened yesterday, where it's just kind of like, you know, I'm back in my space, I'm back in my home, I'm back on my own, I'm back doing the thing. And, you know, I guess this is some of the cons against, or the negatives against working from home, right? It's like you're, oh my gosh, you can see my jumper strewn over the thing because it's really hot when I came back in. Sorry about the messy background, everybody. At least the shoes over there are in the shoe tub. Golly. Anyway, Nicola, focus. And this is the other thing that I find is the aftermath. I find it really hard to focus, and then that leads to overwhelm. So what I found is a bit like the come down, right? So you guys know if you go out on a Saturday night and you can have a really great time, you can have some drinks and whatever, and you're having a grand old time, then the next day it can just be like, you might not even be drinking, you can feel a bit hungover, and sometimes that hangover comes from not drinking enough water. It can be for the excess amount of sugar that you've ingested, could be the alcohol. For me, I find I'll often feel hungover even if I don't drink alcohol, but just from, you know, not having enough sleep or whatever else. So it's that kind of come down thing, and this is what I found really interesting, and what sort of sparked this anxiety for me yesterday was to just realize, oh, right, that's what's actually, you know, that's what's happened. This is what's gone on here. So for me to answer the question, yeah, I'm okay, but for the person that asked, thank you so much. Yes, I am okay. I'm all good. But here's what I do to get out of it. I focus on work. And one of my mentors at the moment says this, and I've been saying this for a really long time as well, like the work is the cure and the cure is the work. And what that means is that to me, if I'm feeling anxious, and the anxiety is generally, it's not about my family life, it's not about my relationship, it usually kicks in, you know, it's to do with overwhelm with work or underwhelm with work or whatever happens to be going on. It's usually a work-related, a business-related anxiety that will spark it for me. It doesn't have to be the same trigger, and it could be anything. You know, it could be the internet being slow, it could be whatever. It's not necessarily about something that someone has said or something that I haven't done, or like money or energy or time or anything. It's just stuff. So anyway, so for me, what I find is that in these moments, I'll just go, I have to become really kind of black and white and systematic. And literally what I'll do is I'll look for some almost menial things to do that help me be doing something, that help me move. The other thing that I'll do is I'll go to the gym or something like that. But yesterday there were no classes that I wanted to take or do. So, and I'm not the kind, I don't really like going to the gym, you know, to the equipment stuff on my own. So anyway, that's because that would create more anxiety, just quietly, because I haven't got my paper program handy and and then I'd be like, oh my gosh, what am I going to do? And you get me. Anyway, so for me, what I did yesterday is like, okay, hey Jess, I've gone, all right, some of the things that I know that I need to do is I need to get some pictures ready, some photos ready for sharing, and I need to have some text ready to go along with those pictures that need sharing on social media, for instance. So it's like, okay, let's go and do 30 of those, and I'll just power through and I'll do that. And it's like, okay, what's the next thing that I need to do? Well, I need to go download a bunch of videos that I ran a program earlier in the year called the Amplification Project. And I promised that the people who had gone through that would have access to that program forever in the membership site. Now, for me to go in and download the video and put all of that stuff into the membership site and do their logons and have all of that stuff ready, again, I don't really have to think about it, but it has me doing something kind of menial that has me moving and feeling productive. So I did that yesterday. So I think one of the things that, I mean, everybody's anxiety is different. You know, if you don't ever feel like that, then that's really awesome. I think for me, as I've gotten more wise, I'm a little bit more aware of things, right, and how to manage it, and how to work through them, and how to cope with it. One of the other things that I'll do sometimes is I'll be like, oh, bang, you know, I'll do a bonus for this other program, and I might record an audio for someone. So it's about doing something rather than me sitting here doing nothing, because me sitting around doing nothing is actually worse. It kind of compounds, and that little baby wombat that's sitting on my chest turns into a big freaking elephant. And, you know, I feel like I actually almost can't even move. So I know for me that the work is the cure, and the cure is the work. The other part that's really super helpful is to journal on it, because sometimes the thing that we think has sparked the thing is really almost just the cherry, and we've got to get down into the ice cream, and then you've got to get down into the container, and then you've got to get into the cupboard where the container came out of, and get into the room where the container lives, right? So sometimes it's really about actually going down a few more layers than just that first thing. But I guess the first part is about helping yourself to feel better, helping yourself to cope, helping yourself to do whatever. And then that's when we've got the journal out, and then start working through stuff. So thank you so much to the person that did reach out yesterday and asked me if I was okay. They saw, the comment was, I saw your human anxiety and just wanted to make sure you were okay. Yes, I am. Thank you very much. So that's that. And then the other thing that I wanted to talk with you about today, in terms of the things that we've got within us are often, okay, let me rephrase that. So there are things within us that other people find inspiring that we just kind of go, oh, really? It's just kind of what I do, or it's just kind of what you do. Like, it doesn't really feel like it's anything special. So one of this relates to skating. There's been a couple of instances this week actually where this has happened. One, I had a message from a lady who at skating came in on Sunday, not really very happy, and we're just like, oh, okay, you know, just do my thing and, you know, have fun and make everybody laugh and help everybody feel comfortable and, you know, do lots of squats and planks and all that kind of fun stuff. Thank you, Andrea. Nice crown. I think I might have to, this has to almost be I'm going to have to do something like a daily theme with a crown, because I feel like we should all, I think everybody should have a crown. And not just a metaphorical one or like an imaginary one, but a real one. So she messaged me later on that night after skating. She said, oh, I just want to say thank you for being in my life. I came into skating not feeling very happy, and I left feeling really amazing. So thank you. I'm so lucky to have you in my world. And I was just like, oh, wow, like, that's really cool. You know, I know that if work is not the cure, then skating is the cure. Skating is always the cure, right? So just have that somewhere in the back of your head somewhere, that if you're feeling overwhelmed, if you're feeling anxious, go find some roller skates and go for a skate. Make sure you wear your padding and stuff. That way you won't hurt yourself. So for me, that was just like, oh, thank you. You know, thank you for letting me know for a start. But also, you know, I didn't feel like I did anything special. I didn't feel like I did anything kind of different. And I know that you guys have found this as well with your friends, perhaps with your clients, where they're like, oh, I really love how you did that, no. And you're like, oh, thanks. It was just, you know, it's just, we've got to be really careful, guys, because it's really easy to kind of like brush this stuff off and not take it seriously. But these are the hints and the clues with your zone of genius, right? These are the hints and the clues to your zone of genius, or to your zone of awesomeness, or to your super secret power your super secret superpower that you have within you, that you perhaps haven't been unleashing or working as well as what you perhaps could have been, right? So I guess what I mean by that is that if you have people say to you, oh, you're so easy to talk to, or you just always know the right thing to say, or you always make everybody happy no matter what it is that you do, then do more. You've got to do more of that, right? But be really grateful that that's been reflected back to you, because that will help you in moments of ness to get back up on the horse and to keep doing what it is that you're doing. Another instance that I had this week actually, and one of you are on this morning, guys did a live stream about how that we had Tom last week, a troll. We had Tom the troll last week, which provided endless amounts of content ideas and interaction and awesomeness. Tom the troll. And then we had another one, Theo. Must have been the T. It was the T names this week. And, you know, with Tom, it was just like these guys are just, I don't know what they're on about. It was just really fascinating. And, you know, the way that I just kind of interacted is the way that I would always interact. But here's the thing with this. It's like, I'm not ever going to let anybody, you guys are like my tribe, right? And if somebody was to come on here, Andrea, you were the last person to comment. So if somebody came on here and started having a crack at Andrea, I'm like Mama Bear, like, don't mess with my people, bitch. And it's just like, no, you can just stop it. And I will be very firm and gracious, but kind of like, this is like that queen energy, right? It's like, no, this behavior is actually not okay. And this is why, and this is what my standards are. And this is what's expected over here. You do not treat my people like this. And so that was how, you know, that's just kind of the same with anything. It's the same with what I would expect of my children. You know, if somebody was speaking to my kids in a way that was completely inappropriate, it's like, no, that is not okay. That's not how we do things. If you don't like how we do things here, fuck off. Go find somebody else to hang out with. I'm not having a bar of it. So to me, that's just kind of like, it's how I've always treated my clients. It's how I've always treated my non-clients. It's how I've always treated my people. It's how I've always treated my audience. It's how I've always treated you. Like right from when I started in this business, right from 2010, it's like, to me, okay, so like we'll use the queen thing, and I talked a little bit about this in the queen code when I ran it earlier on in the year. It's a little bit like, if I'm the queen and this is my queendom, you guys can come on in, but there are certain standards that happen in my queendom. And those standards are that we are kind, that we are respectful, that we lift each other up, that we push each other, absolutely, not necessarily push each other's buttons on purpose, but in order to grow, sometimes we need to be challenged, right? And I'm all open to someone having a different opinion. I might not like it, but at the end of the day, this is my queendom and my rule goes. And if you don't like it, that's fine. And if you're not willing to kind of take that on board, then that's fine. Go find someone else. So I think for me, it's like I've kind of got the moat. We've got the moat around the queendom. And you can come up to the gate and that's fine, and you can knock, knock, knock. But if you aren't the right kind of person, or if you don't kind of gel, and if you don't you don't kind of fit, and if I wouldn't walk over hot coals for you, because maybe you're the kind of person who is antagonistic, and maybe you're a right bitch. You know, the bad bitches, I'm not talking about the fun bitches. You know, but the undermining, conniving, horrible naysayers, nothing's good enough, nothing's amazing enough, complainer people, energy vampires, like there is just, you don't even get over the moat. Like you can't even, it's like a vampire being touched by sunlight. It'd just be like, you know, they're dead. They just can't even get across. They can't even cross the moat. And in fact, the drawbridge doesn't even go down so that they can come over. Whereas for you guys, like the drawbridge is down and you guys come on in and, you know, let's go. Oh my gosh, that was the biggest tangent I've ever done in a really long time. Jess, the Mean Girls, that's right. Oh, I know what happens. It's like the dragon, like we'll whole Game of Thrones it. those mean girls, like, and I've had instances of mean girls throughout my business, throughout this business career, and we've had like trolls, like Tom the troll and Theo the whatever he was, Theo the employee that was trying to tell us what the knowledge we should have as business owners. You know, seriously. Anyway, so these people, like, they're like, oh, we're going to go into Nicola's Queendom. And we've got the dragon that comes in and it's like, no. Be gone. So, yeah. I digress. That's right. So where I'm going with all of this, right, is like, to me, this is just really kind of, it's innate, it's normal. I'm so protective of my people. I'm so protective of you. And to me, it was really kind of interesting that this was something that was so important to someone else. I just, you know, it's just really kind of interesting that different people see different facets of you without you even necessarily realizing, and they can join the dots, right? So how all of this ties into social media and marketing, or how does this all tie into social media and marketing? Well, as we know, the best way for you to be on social media is to be you. And what happens is the way that you are, the more you show up, the more you do live streams, the more comfortable you become in yourself, in your message, in your marketing, in your hot cold clients, because they're already like they're in the queendom, right? And there's like a hot coal thing that you could walk over to go get them if you want. It's optional. The hot coal walking is totally optional. You don't have to walk over hot coals, but they are people who you would literally walk over hot coals for. And you know, I think like the more that you know about them, the more you let go of being who you think you should be and more just be who you are. That's when your soul starts to shine. That is when your values start to speak for themselves. It's when your heart is able to be seen, it's viewable, and not because you're wearing it on your sleeve or you're being vulnerable for the sake of being vulnerable, or you know, you're not trying to do or be someone who you're not. You're just showing up, and your message matters, and what you do matters, and the people who are supposed to be in your queendom, and the people that your dragon will protect you from, and the people that are manning the moat, all of that stuff, right, will just kind of happen automatically. And then if anybody does come in that's a little bit like, man, we're not quite sure about you, then you can do a little bit of a survey before you let down the drawbridge to allow them to cross over. There you go. And I think what's really cool and really interesting about that is that enables you to connect with people on a completely different level, right? In a completely different way compared to everybody else in your industry who is marketing. We do really great home styling, or we make really awesome keto coffee, or we sell the best computers on the face of the planet, or we have got a really great range of crowns. You know, it's more about, to me, and I'm not selling these crowns, but if I was going to sell a crown, I'd be like, guys, you know, when you put on this crown, this is how it's going to make you feel. This is what it's going to enable you to do. This is how it's going to enable you to rule, right? Versus it's about 30 centimeters. It's not 30 centimeters. It's about 20 centimeters in diameter. It's got 25 diamantes on it. It's been made in our factory. Blah, 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 right? So it's about helping people to feel something. And the best way they can feel something is by you being you and you sharing your heart and your soul with your people. So they're the questions that I had today that I wanted to answer for you. Is there anything else that has come up while we have been talking that I can answer for you? Tamara, that was impressive. You sure are creative. Employee of the year. Oh, yes. Theo, the employee of the year. Poor Theo. You know, I'm sure Theo is a lovely guy, but you just can't, hey Leanne, you just can't think that it's okay to have a crack at one of my people saying that this is something that they should just know. As a business owner, you should just know this. And he's not even a business owner, he's an employee. How does that even work? I don't even understand the mentality of these people. It's so strange. It's just so strange. And Tom, Tom, bless his heart, Tom, so interesting. Cassie, you just popped in my feed. What do you do? Oh, I'm the queen of the internet. Thank you for asking. I am the queen of the internet. You might like to listen to the replay. But I am the queen of the internet, and I help badasses get themselves out there, be seen, be visible, and help all the people doing it so that they can locate and find their hot, cold clients so that you can own your little space of queendom on the internet. That's what I do. Really funny, actually, because I actually told the story about why I'm wearing the crown. And thank you, Jared. I told the story about the crown and how my daughter, when asked what her mother does, she says that she is the queen of the internet. I do actually, I kind of, the title I prefer is the queen of fucking everything. I should probably, but I don't really want my daughter to swear to her friends' parents and say, oh, my mum is the queen of fucking everything. I think could you imagine? That'd be really funny. Alrighty. Any other questions that I can answer for you before we roll into Hump Day Wednesday? Now, tomorrow we've got the coffee run, same time, same place. Cassie, eek, it sounds exciting, girl. Oh, it is. It is the best fun ever. Being the queen of everything is just, well, it makes everything easier, right? And it gives you complete creative license to say whatever the heck you want to say and the way you want to say it. Connect with your hot, cold clients as much as you can and take over the world, because that's what we do every day, Pinky. Okay, clearly I am in an excellent mood today. Anxiety is gone today, so, that's good. Okay, so tomorrow we've got the coffee run at 11 a.m. and that is going to be about something that you guys might like to learn about or know how to do. It's usually a hints, tips, advice, how-to day, so please let me know if there's something that you want to know. There are no silly questions. Thank you, Theo, for your input. The dragons. Any question is viable and answerable, so throw them all at me. I'd love to answer them for you. Or not questions, sorry. Anything that you'd like to know how to do or whatever, throw them through on at me. Now, I do actually need to let you know, though, we have got Bold starting on Friday. So if you are not in it yet, dudes, you need to be. Seriously, if you think that this has been fun, imagine 14 days of this where you get to essentially boldly claim yourself as the queen of fucking everything, should you choose to. But also, it's really about you being able to embrace your creativity, to unleash your creativity, let that percolate, and then turn that into a whole sort of different, all sorts of different marketing campaigns and free things and courses and fun stuff that doesn't have you being the same as everybody. So Bold is starting. Let me see if I can pin that, because that would make me very happy. There we go. Facebook have changed all the things. Oh, did you guys see there's a new update that I just noticed come through overnight where we can finally, in the editor, I don't know if you can do it on normal posts, but in groups, we can actually make things bold and italic and we can see the formatting. Oh, thank you, Facebook. I love you. I just love to have something that looks a little bit different to just plain old boring ass text. So that's really fun. Andrea, no more coffee today. Would you believe I've had 1.5. I've only had 1.5 coffees today. I don't think it's enough. Maybe that's the problem. Jess, you totally need one of those quartz crystal crowns. Yes, could you imagine? Oh my gosh. Andrea, I'm needing a crown, something a little darker. Well, there are so many badass crowns out there on the internet. I think everybody should have their own crown. I think it's a necessity, actually. So there you go. All right, I will catch you guys tomorrow at 11 for the coffee run. Like I said, if you want to know how to do something, let me know. And I would love to speak about that with you on Friday. It is Celebration Friday. So let me know what you might be celebrating on Friday. Come armed with the most amazing things that have happened to you this week. It might be a great compliment. It could be that you got out of bed and that you started. It could be that you overcame anxiety. It could be that you put out a great marketing campaign. Like whatever it is, it could be that you had a shower before taking the kids to school. There are no small celebrations. Let me know what you're celebrating and come armed, ready in that for Friday. All right, everybody, have a really fantastic and awesome day. Remember, get out there, go help some people, have a whole lot of fun doing it, claim your queendom, be bold about it, get visible, and I'll talk to you tomorrow.